across Tasmania. This is Win News.
Tonight calls for planning decisions to be taken out of local government hands. Doubt raised over the viability of a new Bridgewater Bridge. And the NBL's pre-season blitz secured for Tasmania. Good evening, I'm Bruce Roberts. Also tonight, star galloper Mystic Journey returns to the track, plus the wind farmers determined to keep our furry friends alive and well. There are calls tonight for planning to be taken out of council hands after a development in Hobart CBD was rejected. While the Deputy Mayor insists council is open to appropriate projects, the developers are now considering whether to appeal or walk away.
Developers have spent the past 2 years working on plans to transform this well-known watering hole into apartments, but last night they were rejected by council. But the proponents aren't ruling out walking away altogether. Sophie Coral, Win News.
The state and federal governments say a new Bridgewater Bridge will be built despite concerns raised by Infrastructure Australia. The project was left off a national priority list with question marks over whether the benefits outweigh the cost.
Proving it's not always easy to just build a bridge. Infrastructure Australia has again cast doubt on the long-awaited Bridgewater project. Mahalia Carter, Win News.
Disability advocates are calling for direct efforts to improve the National Disability Insurance Scheme in the wake of the Prime Minister's trip to Tasmania. The visit, which was also attended by the first dedicated minister for the NDIS, is being seen as a positive, but there are calls for more immediate action.
Allowing people living with disability and their families to use their own voices. A powerful pre-election promise so far being kept by Scott Morrison.
I think the Prime Minister was very genuinely interested in what we were saying.
Kingborough Council will compulsorily acquire the land around a blowhole where a teenager fell to her death. 17-year-old Maggie Law plunged from the cliff edge of Blackmun's Bay blowhole onto rocks below in 2017. Early this year, a Tasmanian coroner recommended action be taken to improve safety in the area. And after negotiations with landowners failed, Council last night unanimously resolved to acquire the reserve, with work already underway on improving signs and lighting options. The land has been valued at more than $115,000. And up next on Win, a busy cat hospital with plans to expand and a carousel with a difference takes shape at Launceston. The Sun team is one step closer to making Launceston a more inclusive place. With the help of local council, a wheelchair carousel will soon be built at Royal Park, enabling kids of all abilities to have some fun in the sun.
Playing on the playground is a way of life for many children, but sadly some miss out.
After 22 years, Tasmania's only pet cemetery is to close, with its custodians forced to sell their property. But thankfully those who've buried their furry friends in the site in Tasmania's southeast won't have to relocate them.
This is the final resting place for hundreds of beloved Tasmanian pets, but soon the memorial stones, flowers and trinkets that adorn the graves at this pet cemetery in Orielton will be gone.
A local cat and kitten hospital is urging everyone to lend a paw and donate to help fund urgent upgrades. The centre at Newtown is hoping to raise $15,000 needed over the next 48 hours.
We've got inefficient bar heaters and we have rickety old doors. It's basically a tin shed. So we're trying to upgrade our hospital wing so it becomes a really nice, warm, stress-free environment for our cats and kittens.
Anyone looking to donate can check out the 10 Lives Facebook page. And sport is after the break with Mystic Journey returning to the track, plus the NBL to bring its pre-season tournament to Tasmania. Again, NBA player Andrew Bogut and teen sensation LaMelo Ball are just two of the names heading to Tasmania later this year for the NBL pre-season blitz. The state government announcing it will hand over $300,000 to secure the 4-day tournament, with Labor questioning its priorities.
All 9 NBL clubs will participate in September's blitz.
Stay in the state.
Meanwhile, a new website has been launched with the public invited to register their support for a Tasmanian team.
I, sitting here, standing in front of you right now, don't see any reason why it can't happen, but we do need to go through the process.
Brent Costello, Win News.
Star Tasmanian galloper Mystic Journey is on track for the Cox Plate, comfortably winning a barrier trial at Devonport this morning. And as the soon-to-be 4-year-old prepares for a big spring carnival, Connections are dreaming about one day taking her overseas.
800-metre trials on the synthetic track at Devonport don't usually attract national attention.
Mystic Journeys has cruised.
Alex Johnston, Win News.
In soccer news, Football Tasmania says it's working with Glenorchy City Council to fix issues at KG5 after Hobart Zebras raised concerns about the standard of the venue. The club has asked to have games moved away from its home ground, describing the facilities as archaic.
There was a break-in about 7 weeks ago and a lot of the stuff got damaged, and all they've done is put plasterboard up, so there's no electricity.
In a statement, Council says it would welcome the opportunity to meet with Zebras to discuss their concerns, and in the meantime, it's working to improve facilities in the northern suburbs, including upgrades to facilities at KG5. Hockey Tasmania is hoping a crowd of up to 5,000 will attend each of the state's 3 National League home matches later this year. The Hockey One fixture was released this morning with the Tigers to host Melbourne, Adelaide and Perth.
The Tigers will host the Fire on October 5th, Hockey Club Melbourne later in the month and Perth in early November.
I think we've got the best athletes in Australia coming right here. Some of the best athletes play for Tasmania.
And that is sport done and dusted. Let's turn our focus now to midweek weather. Hello, Hayley Francis. How are we shaping up?
Good evening, Bruce. Well, again, the north and the west are in for the biggest downpours. I'll have all the latest details after the break. Welcome back. We had another foggy day in the north with low cloud hanging about until the early afternoon. Partly cloudy for the rest of the state with light showers about the west and parts of the north. Now, Jane has sent in tonight's weather photo, a thick blanket of fog laying low below Canungi. Around the state today, Flinders Island had an unseasonably warm start, a low of 11 degrees. That's 4 above the monthly average. Devonport topped out at 14 degrees, the same there for Launceston. Swansea, 15 degrees, and winds picked up to 50 kilometres an hour at Strawn. On the charts, west to northwesterly winds along with a cold front over Tasmania should weaken over the south of the state this evening. A northwesterly stream will strengthen tomorrow ahead of a front across the state in the evening. Onto our waters for tomorrow. In the north, seas up to 4 metres. For the east, northwesterly winds up to 30 knots. For the south coast, seas up to 4 metres. And for the west, northwesterly winds up to 40 knots. A series of marine wind warnings have been issued. That includes plenty of gale and strong wind warnings and a small craft alert for the Central Plateau and southwest lakes. In the north and west tomorrow, showers should increase to rain during the afternoon. Heavy falls are possible. A severe wind warning is in place for much of the state with damaging north to northwesterly winds expected throughout the night, and this turbulent weather on the way should see a sheep grazier's warning for much of the state as well. Interstate tomorrow, mostly sunny in Brisbane and late showers for Melbourne. And looking ahead closer to home for Burnie, rain and strong winds tomorrow should slowly ease by the end of the week. For Launceston, wild weather tomorrow, then light showers to round out the week. Minimums should cool down to, slipping to a freezing -1 on Saturday. And for Hobart, light showers are set to continue right through the week and over the weekend too. So stay dry and keep warm, Bruce.
Good advice. Thank you very much for that, Hayley, and thank you for your company tonight across Tasmania. That's how we saw your news. We're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow night from 6. Good night.
This has been a Win News presentation. Win News, Regional Australia's #1 news source.